Yolanda Castillo is an experiencer who has encountered different types of aliens during her lifetime, and she says they are no threat, and she's joining us today. Hi, Yolanda. How are you today?
Okay, thank you. Glad you're doing better.
Um, you're a lifelong experiencer. You've had some amazing experiences during your life. When did they start?
I remember during my childhood, and I think it goes further back when I was living at my grandparents'. When you have that gut feeling, I don't have any memories or anything like that, but the only memory that really stayed in my mind, and it's vague, it's one where I went to my aunt and uncle home, and I stayed there for the rest of the summer. So I did first grade in Puerto Rico, and I was staying at my grandparents. And when school was over, then I ended up with my uncles, and that's where one time we saw a big flying spaceship above the house. They saw it, but they only remember seeing it. It was round with different colors. It was just revolving, made no sound whatsoever. And they only remember seeing it, but I remember in the backyard of the house. This is where I did have contact. It was a way of saying you're leaving. I will leave to New York after the summer, and I wasn't going to be back for quite a while. So it was a way of saying, on their behalf of saying bye, uh, farewell.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can remember, the communication mentally, tele, tele, how can I say it? Sorry,
Telepathically?
my tongue. Telepathically. And they, as they said goodbye, they helped me walk through the kitchen, through the garage, kitchen door, and out through the dining living room and out the front door because all the family went out to see the spacecraft. And my cousin, she was yelling and screaming, "Oh my God, what is this?" She was afraid. I don't remember feeling fear at the time. I remember the door opening, everyone was focused looking up, and I was the last one coming out. And I saw the door opening by itself, as if someone was opening it.
Mm-hmm.
So the hand, then as the door opened completely, I saw the hand here and then disappeared. It looks like invisibility cloaking suits, and also have it there, these flying vehicles. These are things that I remember. It's the most I can remember. And, and, and after that, as I grew, I do have other vague memories of them coming into my room, my apartment. I never been abducted, as far as I can remember, abducted or did. I have seen that time when I go to the beach or if I'm at the park. Um, there has been, but different times I've seen guard shape, round shape. One time I saw one that had these tubes uh, moving and sticking out. It looked more like I can compare it to an octopus when it's swimming underwater,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of a vacuum kind of tubes. I remember one time watching a documentary about different space alien crafts, and they discussed that one. And I was impressed because at that time I thought I was seeing because I was already in my 20s. So I thought I was going crazy seeing things. I said, and look at cloud. But then got to the documentary, I felt relieved that what I saw is what I saw. And what else?
So when you say
The most I remember, I had that.
yeah, I just wanted to ask, when
Yes,
you
I'm
say
sorry.
documentary, was that a documentary you saw? Was it one that's familiar with people?
Yes, it was a documentary about different spacecrafts, different
Mm-hmm.
alien spacecrafts. I can't remember the title of it because it's been such a long time. And I also remember watching a movie. It was a fiction movie, but in the fiction movie, you were able to see that type of spacecraft. So sometimes people write movies and they don't want to say it's true, fear of being ridiculed. But I believe this real. This was somewhere in South America. Some people who would go out for the summer or for vacation out in the woods, and they would have these type of encounters with this type of vehicle with the long tube sticking out, and it was like a vacuum. It would
Hmm.
vacuum the people. Can't remember the title of the movie because it was a long time ago, but perhaps by searching and looking, and by description alone probably um, can come up with it, and maybe I can post it on my page.
Hmm.
And is different species, definitely. I
Yeah.
have seen different, like I said, different type. I have seen that it's black. It looks like a stingray. I've seen those as well. And I noticed that those beings that have that type of spacecraft, they look like the Mayans. Um, Pictures that you find in their pyramids down in um, Mexico. Yes,
Hmm.
Mexico. And the face, the whiteness and the white nose, and they don't look African. And they're more like those Indian native
Yeah.
uh, people from that period.
Yeah.
Um,
Did they? Can I just ask
and
Yolanda?
also, I
Can I just interrupt? So they visit. So you haven't been abducted. They usually visit you.
yes, and they come in a fancy form, and I'm able to see them, visualize them. Invincible is I can compare it like a ghost light. If
Okay.
someone is next to me, they won't see it, but I will see them. Usually alone in my room. Usually it happens more than night. It's been happening more frequently. Would happen sometimes when I was younger. I wasn't so in tune, um, but I had memory somewhere in the back of my head and would remember. But now it's much more intense. I can feel connection. I can feel that the brain are going through a very time. They have their own planetary and solar system. They also have lived here, perhaps even before us, because ancient alien history channel has demonstrated that there is proof of them being having existed even before the flood, and the petroglyphs and the hieroglyphs pyramids, and and I noticed they become more frequent, but they come at transparency. I do have a C camera. A C camera is a thermal camera, and when I do see them, I have it available with me because sometimes I have it with me. And if I have those type of experiences, I have taken pictures.
Hmm.
When you take a picture, it looks in a shadowy form, which is black form, a silhouette form. And if you notice, I did post some of those pictures in my Heart of the Matter number two,
Yep.
Facebook page, where I collect sources and information about shadows, invincibility and invincibility cloaking. I also collected videos, articles about invincibility as well. So it's something I've always believed in, and I did a lot of search in it because of my experiences and
Yep.
memories. And I have proven it with facts, with videos, articles, and all that stuff. So it is real.
Have
It
they?
is real.
Have,
Invincible.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Have they actually communicated with you? Is there any kind of dialogue between yourself and them?
Not exactly, but I notice they approach. Sometimes I extend my hand when I'm laying on my bed, and they do put their hands on top of my hand. It's another way of saluting. And sometimes I see them put their hands on their heart. Another way of saying we care and we know you care about us because their species is dying. Their solar system, their area is dying, and they have found a new home. And the problem is that many humans are not don't accept them simply because they're different, simply because they're scared. Sometimes they capture them, especially the ones that are 4 feet tall. And the 4 feet tall ones are the young ones. They're beginning to explore. They have no idea that humanity can react with fear and violence. And sometimes I think some of them have been captured and they take away their technology, for example, their suits, invincibility. And some humans do have possession of these invincible or shadow suits, which is the same thing because it shit shapes
Hmm.
as you whatever button they press. I noticed that it's on the right hand side of the hand or left. I'm not sure. A button where they squeeze and it triggers the invincibility. It has the capacity of traveling through space and time like the flying objects. It's a type of material you cannot rip. Apparently, it's a material that you can go through fire, through heat. It won't deteriorate. It keeps the body warm. It protects you from radiation and many other things as you travel out to
You
space.
talk about the shadows, Yolanda. What do you mean by shadows?
Shadows is related to invincibility because when you see the shadows, you can see through what's behind. It's it's connected to invincibility in the sense that I can prove that, but I believe it is because some of the videos that I have seen in, on YouTube, people who have collected because they think it's some kind of demon, some lost soul, or some sort of I don't even believe in exorcism. All I know is some people, if they have this technology, they like to do wrong with it. And due to the fact that you're able to see through the shadow, it gives me the impression it's negative invincibility. I cannot prove it. I'm not a scientist, but that's gut feeling. I've seen aliens shown in that shadowy form and invincibility form, like a ghost-like figure, and then disappear completely and not see at all.
Right.
So, in other ways, they're letting me know there is a connection. They don't say it exactly, but they usually speak more in depicting and acting. It's how I interpret, and that's how I perceive it. It's experience. I have experience. Can't prove it because I didn't get a video, a recording it. But if it would be wonderful. But who knows? Maybe in the future, some scientists. Let's see what happens. It'll be proven. I can feel it in my guts. It'll be proven someday. Perhaps someone might have an experience and they'll be able to record it and post it on YouTube, in
Hmm.
which it turns into shadow, invincibility, and back into a human form. But again, I believe some of the aliens have been captured. They're big, strong, stronger than them, and sometimes and usually they're younger. They're young aliens because the older the aliens, bigger and larger they are, and they don't know perhaps how to fight, so they capture them and they take their invincibility suit. That's why some invincible shadows look like human because they have possession of it. Some people just get the suits because other people provide it to them and they don't know where these suits are coming from. And I believe it's coming from them.
Hmm.
It's a
So,
possibility.
so you mentioned to me in an email that that the aliens are no threat. So you've never been harmed by them at all?
No, not at all. Never. I don't remember being mistreated by them. I only have uh, memories of them uh, having contact with me I don't know. I'm 100% sure that maybe they collected genes, they collected samples because they want to, their species survive. That's one of my beliefs because their species and and when I have taken pictures with the sea camera, they demonstrate a type uh, of behavior. They just let me take the picture,
Hmm.
and they're in ability or in shadow form, and it's a way. I guess it's a way of them communicating of no harm, and you can tell that it's an alien because they're shaped differently. If it's a human being, you're going to see the shape of a female with the curves and so on, or the shape of a male with the muscles, and because these suits they stretch, and once you start becoming visible, you can actually see the shape and the silhouette and the form that they are, and when they're laying themselves in a ghost-like
Hmm.
form, which I have experienced. Again, in the seat camera, you can see the difference between, well, you weren't there, so you might be skeptical. There's this one picture of a lady sitting on the floor where I'm right here and I was watching TV. I was laying in my bed, and anyone might think that she was sitting next to me. But if you notice the picture, when you look very closely at the seat, she looks invincible. You can still see the face. And there are others that are shadow shape of a female, or mostly females, and it's in a shadow form, and some are invincible, like a ghost, like. But I don't think they're ghosts. I don't think they're ghosts because if I see the her face in reality, I think I will notice what she what she really looks like because
Right.
the invincibility revealed itself pretty much, but you can see the throughness and the objects behind it. Because she was
Okay.
sitting right in front of my couch. It's not a wheelchair. So she sat in front of my couch. I was able to see what was behind transparency.
Yeah.
Bring up the seat. I have to look at the seat again. But I think I did see the shape of the chair somewhere behind her as she revealed herself somewhat in a not in a shadow form, but invincibility,
Right.
not invincibility, ghost form. That's the only way I can describe it
Yeah. Can I? And I just want to pick
because
it
this
up
is
there.
something.
I'm just trying to figure out. So, uh, are they actually physical beings, or perhaps they're interdimensional? Do you think that are they actually from up there, or are they coming through walls?
I have seen aliens go through walls, definitely. Yes, I have. I have seen shadows walls. The wall next to my room, the apartment is to me. And sometimes I see them from top down. Um, the shadows, yes. There are times when I have seen the ghost-like figure. Never noticed ghost-like going through walls, but shadows, yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Have you spoken with other experiences that have seen and felt the same type of beings that you encounter?
Oh, no, this is my first time reeling this. Um, in a way, I feel good because I was feeling alone. And not only that, I have seen documentaries and read articles, so I don't feel so alone. People have mentioned human-like silhouette forms. Some of them look like aliens. So it's more or less the same thing I have experienced. When the aliens have the suit and they show in a shadowy form, I can see them going through the window or through the walls. Yes, I have. And also human-like figures. Human-like figures, I don't think they come from another place. I think it's humans who have possession of the suits.
Hmm.
That's what I believe. And it has been taken away.
Yeah, we hear a lot of experiences deciding to have like regression therapy to pinpoint times in their lives when they know something happened, and then they can perhaps delve deeper into it. Have you considered that, or have you had regression therapy?
And had regression, but I would have to. I just know who is able to do it. I know I've read Whitley Strieber, some of his books, not all the books, and he also had regression. And I noticed many of the things he shared similarities. I did feel what I understood everything he's going through, and he did go through regression. If I can get the opportunity from someone who's willing to deal with this situation, who is doing research, or someone who has regressed him as well, by all means, I'm willing to. I have no objection to that. I
Mhm.
haven't said, but I just can't go to any psychologist and ask them to,
Right.
because everyone is open to this topic,
Yep.
and usually discuss about emotional problems and psychiatrical problems and so on.
Okay. Last question, Yolanda. Do they share knowledge with you? Do they impart any knowledge with you when you encounter them?
Knowledge in the sense, um, I wouldn't say so, but eh, based on voices that I've heard, children voices. I don't believe they were dead voices, because I also hear them talk. The ones that are shadowy, human form looking, they do talk, and I can hear them talk. They're harmful. They harass. They threat. They say awful things. Aliens never say anything. They just salute me with their hand and put their hand on their chest as they are saluting, and letting me know that they can feel what I'm going through, and they respect who I am. But I have heard children who have used these suits, and I kept saying they were neighbors, and they have access to this technology. And these children had access to it too, and they would talk about the technology, because the aliens would share the technology with them. And what the children would say is, they would have this thing, a hologram, where they collect people's memory with a green light focused on your forehead, right in between. And they're able to collect all your life experiences and then download them in this small screen, which is made out of crystal. I don't know if it's made out of quartz or any other minerals found out in space or another area out of our solar system.
Hmm.
And they collect memory. And sometimes I have heard children saying that they did collect my memories. They have them stored. Um, they expressed a lot of understanding of technology. I'm going based on what the children expressed,
Right.
because it looks like some children have had experiences. They approached the children who were emotionally mistreated. They don't know what happened to their mothers. They have no memory whatsoever. And I believe that some of these people have possession of these technology, and they understand the usage of it, but it has been taken away from them, because aliens do take it away once they find out who did what to the other aliens. That's according to what I hear from the children
Right.
that I
Right.
have heard. Um, and their technology, it can travel through space and time. You can think of a place, and you can be transported to that place, or to that where that person is with that suit on. um, it has the capacity to withhold heat,
Right.
and it also, um, I don't know, one time I had this, how can I say, uh, I have had dreams sometimes of things that are going to occur in the future, or things that are happening. Um, and there has been time where I can see things in my mind. And on one occasion, I did see in my mind that these invincible suits can
Yolanda, is there a history of paranormal experiences in your family? Has anyone else in your family experienced what you do?
no, not that I know of. I never, again, discussed anything with my parents in relation to that. No, I never sat down to ask my sister, but it's a good question. You made me. Maybe I'll ask my sister. We never sat down to talk about this any further, like I'm doing with you right now. But I'm hoping to after, I guess, after this video. It's being recorded also for you at YouTube so that I can share it with her.
Hmm.
And I think it'll be easier for me to, you know, just blurt it out to her
Yeah, yeah.
and because it's a hard topic, it's a hard subject, and everybody's so I'm dealing with this alone. And and um and I don't know how she's gonna react. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Well, I applaud
And
your
then this way
I applaud your courage for coming on with me today and talking about it. It's not something that's easy to do, and I can I can understand that. But you've certainly had your fair share of experiences since you were a child, and once again, thank you for joining us.
you're welcome. It's my pleasure.